Hi, I'm Mrs. Prakash, and I'm a licensed immigration advisor. You've seen a couple of our videos. In today's video, we're going to talk about student visa application process and preparation for an interview, and what are the things that you need to remember when you are being interviewed by a case officer. So you've applied for your visa. Now you're anxiously waiting for an interview, and then you are kind of worried that you want to give the right answer at the right time. One of the things I always tell my clients is that when you get an interview, do not panic. Make sure you are in the right zone. So you're allowed to tell a case officer that, can I take this call after 10 minutes because I'm driving, or I'm having a shower, or I'm in the middle of something, having lunch or something. Can I take this call after 10 minutes? So that gives you a little bit of a time to compose yourself. Don't get scared to actually take some time from them. It gives you time to compose yourself and then sit in a nice place and then begin your interview. The questions these days are pretty standard, but they're not limited to, in the sense that can be others as well. But the questions are usually why course, why the course that you have selected, why New Zealand or the country that you have applied for, what do you know about the course, what do you want to do post completion of this course, who is sponsoring your education, what are the source of funds, how do you think the response to these are used to assess if you would get the visa approved or declined by immigration. So to start with, why New Zealand, or why the country that you have applied for? Our suggestion is to do a little bit of a research on New Zealand, being a safe country, cultural diversity, weather conditions, cost of living, things like that. Do a little bit of a research in that. Often saying an answer that because my brother or sister lives there or I've heard a lot about it is not helpful. So you need to know a little bit more than that, just saying that I've heard a lot about New Zealand. Then it comes to why the course. Why do you need that course? Now this needs to match up with your previous qualification, and it needs to match up with any work experience that you have had, any dreams that you have had of achieving that kind of a goal. And we strongly recommend that do not take a course because you want to come to New Zealand somehow or the other, because it's not going to lead you to a good pathway later on. So when we recommend, we actually have an interview and we say to them, you will be suitable for this. So have a good career counseling before you choose your course. Have a good amount of research put into your college or the polytechnic that you're choosing. Talk to a few people, find out what are the pathways after you finish that qualification. Taking a qualification just because you want to be there in New Zealand is not going to be successful in your interview, and at the same time it's not going to be of any use to your future as well. So it has to link up. Things have to link up. Okay, so things like if you've done a BCom degree, have worked in an IT field for some time, like maybe in service desk or something like that, and then it triggered that you need to be in the IT field, but you can't go back on your graduation. So you could then think of something, that a course that is IT related, because you've got work experience in IT. Then the next question is, what do you want to do post completion of the course? We all know that you have got post-study work rights here in New Zealand after you have completed your course. So the best thing to answer that question is to say that I will gain the post-study work experience and then come back to my country and use those experiences there. Yeah. So your focus is to study and gain that work experience. Your focus is not, in the future, I'm going to be a citizen or a resident of New Zealand. You must satisfy the temporary entry requirements or the student visa requirements in order to be in that one. The last major thing that you need to remember is the source of funds and the person who is representing you. The source of funds have to be from genuine sources, in the sense that you must have the source of the wealth. So having relatives put money into your account for 6 months and keeping that 6 months old funds is not good enough, because even after the approval of a student visa, when you do an FTS, as in a fund transfer of $15,000 to New Zealand to enable you to fulfill your living costs, it is important to actually show you the source of funds. You have to have the source of funds relevant to show that this funds came from this particular source. Could be by way of salary slips, or it could be by way of gift deeds that people have given. They have to be legal source of funds. And if it has come from parents or siblings, it's good. But we always highly recommend that the source comes from a bank loan, which is pretty good in the sense that bank loan is very authentic and the source of fund are good. So here are some tips, for this. Be honest and truthful. Don't fake it. Do not write down the answers of the interview and do not read your answers of interview. Listen to the question carefully. If you don't understand, ask the interviewer to repeat the question to you. Stick to the purpose. Do not deviate from the purpose. Funds should be genuine and from a reliable source. Any visa declines previously should be declared. A little lie of whether it is for New Zealand or for Australia or any other country, a decline should be declared and the purpose should be actually told as well. All the best for your interview. Any questions, leave us a comment below and I'm happy to answer that. Thank you.